Hey, good morning. At least it's morning here, day 18 on the Camino de Santiago. We're leaving the town of Sahagun. It sounds, when you see it and spelling it, looks more like Sahagun. And I plan to take the Roman road today, which is an alternate course, which is supposed to be quite nice. It should be a long day, to like better than 30 kilometers. And the downside to the Roman road, though, is it's quite a long distance between towns. So anyway, leaving at 5:15, and let's see how it goes. So this plate here is supposed to be the center of the Camino, the halfway point. But this is the Spanish center, meaning the Spanish think the Camino doesn't start until Roncesvalles. Actually, I passed the halfway point for the entire length of the Camino, well, just a while back. One last picture of this town before I head back out onto the road early in the morning. Where as you're leaving town, you pass over this river, the Rio Sia, out of Sahagun. All right, guys, here's the sign along the side of the trail for the Camino alternative. I think it's called the Roman Road. The only thing about it to note is it's supposed to be nicer. It's not a whole lot longer. It's almost the same distance overall. But you have this town right here, but then you have a long stretch with no towns or anything. I'll let you know what that exact distance is later when I pull out my other app. But yeah, this is what you'll see right at the turnoff. Unfortunately, I'm here in the dark, so you're only going to see so much right now. And off we go on the Roman Road. And when you first take that cutoff, if you're going to take this alternative, which I think is called the Roman Road, just be advised you're going on a highway for a short distance, and you take an overpass which goes across a major highway, but there's really not much of a shoulder there. I'm doing it at night, and there's actually tractor trailers blowing by 3 feet away. It's not a whole lot of space, and it's not particularly safe. But I'm coming into this little town now called Calzada del Cato. All right, still passing through the town. There was a cafe back there, but I'm too early. They weren't open, so no soup for me. All right, there's our first light. All right, just light enough for our first trail shot of the day. Supposed to head over that ridge line. I can see lights, so I'm guessing that's the only town that's out here in the middle of this alternate path. I'll give you a glimpse back behind me at my probably my 5 o'clock. It's pretty with the sun getting ready to come up. All right, it's a trail, bit of a rest area type place. I'm gonna go over there and take my backpack off and give myself 10 minutes with my shoes off and continue on. Hey guys, this is my breakfast. I got croissant and cafe con leche. It's €3 here. This is the Roman Road, I thought.
Yeah, no, but I think you can get off here to the main road if you want.
Oh, I'm planning to go all the way through here to Reliegos. Yeah, another 18K, I think.
Yeah.
So a bunch of the people that I've been hiking with and spending evenings with, rolling in for breakfast at the cafe just as I'm rolling out. All right, pulling out of that cafe at 9 o'clock. I still got the majority of this village to walk through. Hoping I can pick up a cold drink to go, because I think I got 18K to the next village. I do have almost full water though. The market in the village where you can pick up stuff, but the guy said it doesn't open until 9:30. It's 9 o'clock. I don't want to wait half an hour. Here is the other albergue, the exterior in this town. Probably about a kilometer outside of that town when I had breakfast at. It's all road walk so far. All right, 40 minutes out of that town before you get to back onto a dirt and stone trail instead of the asphalt. By the way, there was some talk at the cafe this morning over breakfast. About the next town is 18K. Most people will be done there because that would be over 30K. That's a long day for most people on the Camino. And there was talk about, well, there's one municipal albergue. Of course, they don't take reservations. And there are a handful of private ones there. And, you know, people were saying that they heard that all the private ones are already fully booked with the reservations. But it's possible, but it's just not what I've been seeing, you know. I think I've been turned away from 2 albergues. And I think this is day 18 or 19 that I've been on the Camino. And when I've been turned away, I walked to the next albergue and got in. So I never had to even leave a town. But, you know, if I do, not a big deal. Go to the cafe, have a beer, rest for half an hour, then truck an extra 5K to the next town, or 5K, I mean, to the next town. So I did take this Roman road, this alternate path. And since I've never done the Camino before, I don't know what the main pathway over there looks like. That'll be closer to the road. But I was told this was supposed to be so nice and all, but it's kind of boring, to be honest. It's flat, nothing but fields. There's nothing really to see. I thought the Roman road was supposed to be along the river, but I don't know. Maybe I haven't gotten to that section yet. I'm not sure. All right, so for the first time in a long while, I see mountains when I'm looking forward. I mean, they're way out there. Let me zoom in. Maybe you can see them then. So I'm not sure how much time I have left on Meseta. I haven't looked that far ahead, but I do see mountains to the west. I'm 2.5 hours outside of that town. There has been no services of any kind, no benches, no picnic tables, no shade. This is the first thing I see. There's some benches in front of this barn. People in front of me are using them, and I'm definitely going to use them for a few minutes. All right, see civilization for the first time in a while off in the distance. And those mountains are calling in the far distance. All right, so I'm coming to an intersection straight in from behind me. If I go straight ahead, that takes me near Reliegos, or I can make a right here and come into the next town further down the Camino. But it's a considerable distance. So I've had a good, I'm gonna have probably over a 30K day. I'm gonna take it into Reliegos and call it a day if I can find a place to stay there. All right, first view coming into the town of Reliegos. Up on a bit of a rise, looking out over the Meseta. Albergue, right there, €5 per night. You can dry your clothes out front here. They do have a place to wash them inside. I can't take you into the restroom areas. There's people using them already, so that's the reception. Municipal albergue, €5, and they are jammed in here. Look at these top bunks here. There's not even a way to climb up on them, so I guess you have to run and jump. They're jammed in pretty tight. Tables and a kitchen on the second floor, a little refrigerator, stove cooktop. About the abbreviated albergue tour, but it is cramped. And a lot of people are already in there because it was a longer hike today for me. So it just gets too intrusive sometimes. So I showed you what I could. This is Bar Elvis. I read somewhere that the owner of this bar is supposed to be quite the character, and that you can write anything you want on his building over here if you want, if you bring your Sharpie. But nobody's in here. Everybody's at the cafe right there, which says Albergue Gil. Let me see what's going on in Elvis though. The other side. Anyway, I guess this place is relatively famous bar along the Camino, but they're closed. That's why nobody's here. So maybe they'll open later. Just one of these small towns that we pass through all the time. Actually, sad as it sounds, they start to look together. They'll all start to look a bit the same after a while. And they all have a few houses that look just beautiful. Look at this lady's beautiful house and her yard and everything. Really nice. Let's talk about today, the hiking portion like I usually do in the afternoon. I left at 5:15. I arrived at the albergue at 12:45. That's 7.5 hours. Let me get a distance for you. And I did stop for breakfast. Let's call that 20 minutes and two 10-minute rest stops probably. Distance was 30.3 kilometers. That's about 18.6 miles, something like that. So pretty good day. And tomorrow the plan is, if the weather's good and I'm feeling right, is to go into the large and major city of Leon. Last time I looked, I think that I have about another 25 kilometers to go to get there. So that's the plan for tomorrow, but it could change. Really well restored older home, at least from the outside. And here's something, and still looking pretty old, not restored, but still looks really cool. Our albergue, it's a private albergue here in Reliegos. By the way, I'm guessing on the pronunciation. It could be Reliegos. I just don't know. There's another cafe like as you're coming into town. All right, present situation. Cafe with a beer, €2.30, and a free tapa. That's tortilla pimentos. All right, so we're at the cafe, and I got Darius here. Ivan, and Ivan, where are you from?
Slovenia.
Slovenia. Ivan he's from Slovenia. He's also hiking all the way to Santiago de Compostela. And of course, Juha, you all have seen Juha before. So we're just here enjoying the afternoon and relaxing, having a few drinks and something to eat. So we're in the very famous, probably the most famous bar in the Camino, the Elvis Bar. They are now open, and honestly, it looks like kind of like any dive bar in the U.S. So if you want to come to a dive bar that will remind you of a dive bar in the U.S., this is the place to be. By the way, that's Miriam from Holland. That's Darius, who is originally from Poland but now lives in Sweden. And you probably already know Juha if you've been following me. He's from Finland. And this is Stefania. She's from South Africa but currently resides in Brisbane, Australia. Anything you want to tell people worldwide about your Camino experience?
Worldwide? If you can do it, if you can walk, do the Camino.
Well, there you go. Get one more video of this place. It's just us here, just our little group. And yeah, it's loud. It's a lot of fun. I can imagine that this place would get wound up on weekend nights. So. It's Elvis's bar, probably the most famous bar on the Camino. So I'm in the municipal albergue in Reliegos. When you come here, don't stay in the municipal. Stay here, and I'll show you why. Our friends are here. We're down here partying in their courtyard. Hopefully they won't kick us out since we're not staying here. But I mean, like 3 washing machines, super nice. They're actually doing yoga out here. So, but they have a bar here that's mainly for just the residents. But honestly, spend a couple extra euros and stay here. It's very nice.
1, 2, 3.
No freedom, no camino.